What's up, wild ones? So let's talk about being prolific, right? Like really creating in a way that not only is consistent, but also impactful. And at the same time, right, completely turns on your soul. So the last month, I've really been in the creative cave, which is amazing. It's always like my favorite place to be. Except I swung a bit too far into one direction and I kind of forgot to do the whole humaning thing, right? Which means, running a business and teaching and filling up events and doing all the things. It requires you to actually, show up and be present and be consistent in that as well. As creators, we tend to have a favorite space, right, where we're hanging out with the Muse, and we also, if we are called to do something that's super powerful and to really change the world in the way that our soul is asking of us, right? Like to really create massive socioeconomic change with our art, with our mission, with our life, then we've got to also be able to sit in the space of showing up and being of the world. So the Muse, that's the cosmic ether, delicious yumminess where it can be like amazing space to play, right? I just got done. I'm about to go right back to it after I finish this. And this is included as well. But for me, writing is generally the thing that just like completely drops me in. And when I skip out on making videos, or I skip out on doing live streams or launching the podcast that's been, in my brain forever and a day, it allows me, or it not allows me, it takes me away from doing the part of the mission that actually is kind of front facing, right? It's the tribe, it's the connection, it's really creating the village and allowing us to be in this together. And I notice that we'll have a space, it's kind of like energy work, right? Where sometimes we need some yin, sometimes we need some yang, but we really need to be able to play with both. We have a preference, right? We tend to either kind of drop into that more feminine flow energy, or we drop into that more masculine, like get shit done energy. Whatever your preference, both are needed for us to really create in a way that becomes prolific, that becomes perennial, that allows us to, yet another P word, that allows us to establish our preeminence in the world and to take our art to the next level, to take our impact to the next level, to take our lives and our pleasure and our connection and our God relationship and all the things to the next level. And we've got to be able to play in the spaces between. And so anytime you notice that you're kind of going into one range of the scale versus the other, right? Like you're just sitting with the Muse and you're creating and you're creating and you're creating, and you're not actually impacting the world, right? And there are some times when that's necessary, yeah? You're creating your TED Talk, you're in the middle of your first draft, you're doing whatever it is, like you're preparing for your gallery opening, you've got to be fully in that, yeah? Then there are also other times when it's going to be more, tribe facing. You're doing the work to really launch something, to welcome people into something, to invite them into something, to just simply connect and establish some really delicious relationships. What happens, the problem is that we tend to do one or the other. And right? Like yes, full on focus and getting shit done in whatever capacity you're being called to in the moment. But don't go so far that it's like trying to push a boulder uphill, getting back to incorporating the other piece in as well. And so if all you're doing is front facing and doing all these things and you're out there and but you're not creating, well, like your soul is dying on the vine, right? But if all you're doing is create as a creator, right? If all you're doing is creating and you're never actually doing anything with it, you're just putting it in the vault and nothing ever happens with it, but you're creating a ton, you're not changing the world with it, right? But artists, we're called for a time such as this. We're called to use our art to create the change that we want to see in the world. If you're in that vein, right? If you're that type of a creator, which you are if you're here, like otherwise I don't know why you'd be hanging out with me at all. If you don't want to use your art to activate the work that you and the change that you want to see in the world, then I don't know why we're hanging out. We should probably stop hanging out, right? But if you're still here, then you've got to be willing to not swing so far in either direction that it's like pushing that boulder uphill. You've got to be willing to like, okay, so here's where I've been. Take stock. Is this where I need to be right now? Like, is this the truth for me right now? Is this where my soul is asking me to be right now? My body, like, drop in, breathe, track the sensation. If it's a yes, then stay there. If it's a, yeah, like we really need to get some of that other stuff going, then allow yourself to shift consciously into a space where you're able to see what's the primary focus, but also bring in the other one at the level that it's being asked to be brought in at the moment. So that might be, it's very front of facing, like you've done the work, you've created your talk, and now it's time to really grow relationships, land the talk, maybe work with a coach, do all the things. Like, it's really time to do that part of it. Still, right? Like, you're still distilling down, you might still be editing, that kind of thing, but you've done the creative part and now it's time to be front facing. Or it might be vice versa. You've been doing all kinds of things and growing relationships and everything, but you haven't sat your ass down in the chair to do the work. And it's time to do that. So yes, keep a little bit of that. Cultivate, nurture the stuff that you've already done, but it's not the primary at the moment. So you've got to be willing to look at what needs to happen now. Who do I need to be in order to stand in the power of what's being asked of me right now? And then how do I not completely lose sight of the other aspect so that I don't have to push those boulders? Like, I'm not, the ostrich with my head in the sand, and then 3 months from now I lift my head up and I'm like, shit. Where am I? What just happened? And I have absolutely no idea what to do next. Like, that space of overwhelm, that space of I don't know what to do, is generally when we've gone so far in one direction, either or, that now that we're realizing, oh crap, I have to add in the other, we're so far, so detached from it that we don't know where to start. We know, but we think we don't know, and we're so disconnected from it that it's really hard to access it. Yeah. So let me know how that resonates for you. Let me know what comes up for you. Like, really, which space are you in right now? Tell me, like, are you deep with the Muse, or are you out there growing tribe and relationships and really front facing? And where do you want to be? Like, where's your soul asking you to be right now? Yes. Change is coming to the channel because I was bored. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was really bored with creating videos. And as a creator, if you get bored with what you're creating, dude, like, is there anything worse than that? Like, it's horrible. And so I sat down, I got in, like, went deep, used that sexual energy work, that primal self reintegration work, and this channel is going in a fabulous, amazing direction. But it's gonna be like, you're gonna see next week, hopefully. I've got some things to work out, but hopefully by next Friday you'll see the new direction of this channel. So stay tuned. Tell your friends about it and invite them over, and let's hang out, let's have a good time. But of course, it will still be for creators, change makers, you beautiful freaking goddesses and kings who are here to do the work that is being asked of your soul at this time. So stay tuned. It's going to be lots of cosmic sex and storytelling and story mastery and establishing what I call primal preeminence. So you will see. Stay tuned. You'll see. Yes, I think that's it for today. Shoot me a comment below. Share this out with your peeps. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like, turn on notifications, all that jazz. Yeah, okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. As always, here's to your untaming. Oh, and wait a second. And make sure you go sign up for Scale Your Impact. It's free. It's my rewilding project for creators who are ready to look at things differently. Like, you're ready to be different in how you're showing up and how you create and how you impact the world. It's really gonna flip things on their head. Flip things on their head, and you're probably gonna see, like, oh shit, this is why it hasn't been working. I'm just saying, we're gonna drop into why it hasn't been working on page 1. It's a multimedia course, so go check it out. ScaleYourImpact.co. Yeah, that's it. I think for real this time. Okay, like, for real. All right, I love you guys. I will see you next time. Have an amazing day.